Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is 12 times national champion heavyweight boxer and, of course, a resilience keynote speaker. No other than Mr. Cam F. Awesome.
So, guys, thanks for having me.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Cam, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
So my name is Cam F. Awesome. I started boxing at 17. I've been number one boxer in the country in the U.S. for probably about 12 years or so. I've won 12 national championships, three Olympic trials, and uh, I'm recently into books. I didn't read my first book until I was 26 years old.
Hmm. Why
Yeah.
is that, Mr. Cam?
I honestly, I didn't. I've never seen anyone I thought was cool reading. Yeah, it's just I never saw anybody I really thought was cool reading, and it was never really. I didn't really see why you would read when there's movies. Uh, and then I was in the Ukraine. This is back when Wi-Fi is like 10 years ago. You had to pay for Wi-Fi, and I couldn't afford it. So I ended up reading a book, and it wasn't terrible. I was like, "Oh, cool! I realized you can learn things from it, as silly as that seems." So I tend to only read self-help books, personal development books, and financial growth books.
So, Mr. Cam F. Awesome, thank you so
Hey.
much for being awesome to the world. So, let's talk about you being a national or 12 times national champion heavyweight. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I found a a niche in the boxing world, and I started boxing when I was 17. I understood the scoring system, and after I became the number one boxer, I won my first national championship in 2008, and I got health insurance, which was great. I don't know if you know, America's like the Hunger Games. You got to really fight for what you get here. Uh,
Yes.
but when I won nationals, and I was like, "Oh, cool! This is way more fun than going to college." So I was like, "I'm just gonna box instead of going to college," because yeah, I didn't do good at free school. I doubt I do good when I have to pay. So
So let's talk about your being a resilience keynote speaker.
yeah,
Can you tell us your other side?
yeah. I got into boxing because of bullying. And after became the number one boxer in the country, I would go to schools and talk about bullying. And it's since my message since changed from into bullying to mindset and resilience. So I speak about how I use my mindset to become the number one boxer in the country and repeat that 12 times.
Awesome. Repeating, materialize it, as they
Yeah.
saying. So, Mr. Cam, so let's talk about the books that empower you to become awesome. Let's talk about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Which lessons or ideas from the book stood out to you and the most?
Ooh, what I found was the conventional route that normal people go about saving and living and spending money is inefficient, and I understood that two different people could make the same amount of money and live two completely different lifestyles. And I wanted to. I've always really been into money, but I never knew how to manage it. And I don't come from a family with a lot of money, so they don't know how to manage that type of money either. So I need to learn it from somewhere. And this book has really taught me a good way to look at finances, look at savings, and evaluating risks.
Evaluating risk for sure. And did the book change the way you think about financial education?
Yes, yes. It made me change the way it made me see the value in being an entrepreneur. It made me see that the conventional way of kind of spending and the way I was looking at money. Because you see, I realized money habits are hereditary. You often do what you saw your parents do or the people around you. And this book helped me break out of those habits of just even understanding the where I put my value. If I put my value on buying nice cars or jewelry or things of that sort, and the value of and letting my money work for me.
Certainly. Let the money work for us, not you will work for money. So let's talk about the application and personal reflection of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Have you made any changes in your financial habits after reading the book?
Yes, I so one of the I kind of had like two dads. I had a boxing coach and I had my dad. And my boxing coach was my rich dad, and my dad was like my poor dad. And I got to see the different way they looked at money and how they valued money and what how they thought people perceived them. One of the things that I learned from this book is to care less about the way I'm perceived by other people. Like I don't need people to think I have more than I do. Uh, so that was one of the lessons in there, and the idea of how hard you have to work for someone else to be as marginally successful as they are.
Yes. People don't care what people say about you because they don't care about you. So don't care what people say. Let
Yeah.
it go. What steps have you taken to make money work for you instead of working for money?
After I retired from boxing, I started my own speaking business. And to conserve money, when I first started, I live in the United States. I lived in my van for 3 years. Uh, and
Okay.
that way I didn't have to pay rent or pay for hotels or rental cars or and
Taxes.
yeah, and so I was trying to be as sustainable as possible and save money and manage my money so I can build my business. I understand that most businesses fail within the first 5 years because of overhead. So if I didn't have much overhead, I'd had a bigger chance at success. After I established myself in my business and I was seeing a profit, it took a little longer than I thought it would. I've since started other companies to kind of scale myself. I recently started a car detailing company. Uh, I like just freshly started it. I've only had two customers so far. I've only been in business a couple weeks, and I'm still working on my website. But I'm just starting different businesses and learning how to manage people.
Good luck to your business, Mr. Cam, and looking for more success. And what step or what does financial freedom mean to you now compared before you read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Before I wanted to get a bunch of money so I could pour expensive champagne on beautiful women. That was the original plan. And then I became 20 years old and I saw it differently. But for me, financial freedom is being able to not set my alarm clock. I I wake up whenever I want. I want to be able to, if my friend's having a wedding or a birthday party, I want to be able to fly and go see them. I want to be able to fill my gas tank without doing math. Those are some of the more simple things that I just require in life. So less about the flashy things and more about the convenience of life.
Convenience of life, for sure. Did reading the book make you think differently about job security and career planning?
The first time I read the book, I thought it was a great book, and I recently read it again. I don't know if have you ever read the same book twice and got a completely different meaning the second time?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. This is one of those books. I read it the first time I read the book, I was about 20, 25, 26 years old. And I read it recently, maybe about a year ago. And now I'm in a different financial position. And a lot of things in the book that I read, I didn't understand. So I didn't know how to apply those things to my life because I wasn't in that financial position yet. And now
Yeah.
reading the book a second time, I got to see a different perspective of it. So I now I'm like starting to read some of my favorite books again a second time. I read Think and Grow Rich literally once a year,
Oh, awesome.
and the
Me
Four
too.
Agreements.
Think and Grow Rich with Mr. Napoleon Hill, right?
Yeah.
What role do you think fear plays in financial decision making based on Kioski's ideas?
Uh, I think fear is the unknown, and I think people like a clear path with guidelines, and it's more like of a cookie cutter way. They like to know the guidelines and where to fit in. There's a different approach of entrepreneurship to where things are more free flowing, and you don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, it's that fear of the unknown, and I think that's why a lot of people play it safe, and they get that degree that they think is going to be safe, and they get the job that thinks is going to be safe. But I never liked safety, and that I don't. Yeah, you can always get fired if you die. Someone's going to have your office desk before you're buried.
Totally agree with you, Mr. Cam. Have you started thinking about creating passive income streams after reading the book?
Yes, I tried different ways of doing that. I started a seat cover company on Amazon. I purchased the items from China. I had it shipped. It was China or yeah, from China. I had it shipped to the U.S. and I put it on Amazon as well as my website. And I would speak at gyms and sell it there. I wrote a book. Uh, how Becoming awesome, how to make success inevitable, uh and I sell the book. That's another passive income I do. I own property that I rent out uh for tenants. Yeah, so there's different ways of income, but the older I get, the more access I have to capital and the more I'm doing with it. But I'm grateful I spent a lot of time in my 20s like reading and learning about financial decisions, so I avoid making some pretty easy, stupid mistakes.
Yes. But don't afraid to commit mistake, Mr. Cam, because you're gonna learn from those mistakes and you will be getting better, stronger once you stand again. So let's talk about the broader impact of the book itself. Do you believe a financial education should be taught more systematically in schools? Why or why not?
I think for people, yes, they should be, but for the system that we exist in, at least in the United States, where it's capitalism, uh, no one benefits from the poor being educated. So I think the system keeps people uneducated because if you like, even the idea, are you familiar with the idea of trickle down economics?
No, you can enlighten us, please.
So the idea is if the rich continue to get money, the rich will spend that money on housekeepers and vacations and things which where people are employed. So if you give rich people more money, they spend more money and then money trickles down in the economy. The the problem with that thinking is rich people understand how to protect their money.
Yes.
Trickle down economics doesn't work, but triple up economics works, because if you give poor people a bunch of money, they don't understand proper money management because they've never had money. They will spend money. It would generate the economy. uh, Again, I'm no economist. I just read some books sometimes. uh, but I believe that if you are of the age of 16, you should start understanding how important money is. And that should be something that you learn on your own. You have the Wi-Fi, you have internet, there's libraries with free books. I have my library card. I go to Barnes and Nobles, I go to the bookstore, I use their Wi-Fi and I order books from the library. Like all the information there is free. Find the things that are important to you. And for me, financial security is important to me. And educate yourself. Listen to podcasts about financial security and making better decisions. And ask people with money how they got the money. Ask poor people, like people who had money and lost it. What did you do to lose your money? You can also learn what not to do from people.
Yes, indeed. So, Mr. Gam, what would be your short-term and long-term goals as a keynote speaker?
Ooh. My short-term goals is uh to book 100 gigs a year in the corporate world. Uh, I was doing 100 schools a year, but I want to do 100 corporate gigs a year. That is my short-term goal. Uh, my long-term goal is I want to create a genre of speaking called motivational humor. It's basically stand-up comedy, but it's also motivating. That's not a genre right now, but I plan to make that a genre. And when I do, I'm going to be the daddy of said genre.
Looking forward for that, Mr. Cam, and I hope you will be successful integrating the genre. Which concept from the book do you think is the most important to teach the next generation?
Oh, I would say the ability to take risk and go out on your own. Uh, Even things with AI, anything you need to know, you can ask ChatGPT, and it would. If you want to start a business, I just started a car detailing business. I asked ChatGPT, "What business should I start for $1,000?" It told me car detailing. I said, well, "How should I start?" And it gave me all the steps, and I followed the steps. Information is free. It's no longer the problem. Taking action is is the new currency.
Yes, take the action and stop procrastinating. And
Yeah.
thank you for your and good luck to your goals, Mr. Cam, and hoping for the best. What would be your advice for those people out there want to be like you, as awesome like you?
I would say talk kindly to yourself. I think I'm amazing because I just think that about myself. You could think you're amazing too.
Definitely, I'm the head, not the tail. I'm a victor, not a victim, and I'm the awesome person on earth, like
Yeah, you are,
Mr.
Daniel.
Cam.
Yeah, you
Mr.
are.
Cam, how is your long-term financial planning changed after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad?
I actually didn't do any financial planning before that. I didn't really ever think about financial planning. Since then, I have what do we have two different financial advisors, and I now invest money. And to me now that's one of the important things to me. So I set money aside for investing. But it's always fun to do hood rat stuff with your friends.
Yes. So, Mr. Cam, thank you for your advice and looking for more and more and more success of being a coach. So, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, Food 101, in its fifth season, people. Fifth season with Chef Alessandro, one of the specialty chef in one of the five-star hotel in downtown Toronto. Please do listen to our latest episode. We are reading our letter senders all over the world. So please do listen. Food 101, wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Cam, would you recommend this book to others? If so, who do you think would benefit from
Oh,
it the most?
I recommend this book to uh, people just leaving college or leaving high school, and you're kind of figuring out what path you want to take in life. It kind of at least gives you an idea of what the financial future may look like and what it could look like for you.
Certainly. So one more question, Mr. Cam. Sorry. What is one financial goal you've set after reading the book?
Uh, Grossing $1 million in a year.
Hmm. Awesome. Mr. Cam F. Awesome. You really awesome.
Thank you,
And
thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world. I hope people listening to us or watching us inspired to read Rich Dad and Poor Dad so that they will empower through their financial journey. So, Mr. Cam, can you please invite our listeners to support your business itself?
Yeah, and if you can, could you click "Becoming Awesome" book? It's right up there. Uh,
Yes.
my name is Cam F. Awesome. You can find me at camfawesome.com or at Cam F. Awesome. I have a book, Becoming Awesome: How to Make Success Inevitable. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Cam F. Awesome because if you support him, more and more and more awesome books to come. So, Mr. Cam, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one.
Welcome, people. See you soon. So, Mr. Gam, I'm inviting you again to come back and let's talk about your book